Political leader in American history who has endured so many relentless attacks, even attacks upon his life, and remained so strong and resilient. His life miraculously spared on the world stage where everyone can see it. The legacy that he will leave and the responsibility that he's been given to help save the country. And it's a very serious thing and a profound thing to be a part of.
The Secret Service knew about a threat on Trump, and they didn't do anything to prep for the Butler rally. Chuck Grassley, the great senator from Iowa, dropped this new report saying, "I'm releasing this showing the Secret Service knew of a threat to President Trump's life 10 days, says Chuck, before Butler, and they didn't share info with staff on the ground so that they were unprepared." A report that we'll take a look at identifies Secret Service problems and recommends fixes. This info never would have been made public without congressional oversight. Man, and Chuck really knows how to squeeze a bunch of words into one tweet. There's no character count limit any there anymore, but we appreciate it and we like conciseness. So he published this. The U.S. Secret Service failed to implement security measures that could have prevented the assassination attempt in Butler. Now, at the time, former president was not yet the official Republican nominee. Now, this presented a unique challenge because they didn't know what to do. They're like, well, it's just Trump. He's former president and he's not maybe going to win. And so we don't really need to give him proper security. This presented a unique challenge. What should we provide? The failure was also caused in part by a lack of specific and complete guidance outlining roles and responsibilities. For example, Secret Service guidance at the time did not include details outlining a list of key steps the site agent should take to properly staff the security room. Even though the Secret Service provides a checklist, like paint by numbers type of thing for these people, it's like a value menu. Just go up there and just do number one, okay? And they're like, what? Sloped roofs? That's dangerous. The Secret Service has taken steps to revise its policies, like balance lessons, and many of the policies still lack needed details. Now, prior to July 13th, senior level Secret Service officials became aware of a threat to President Trump. This information was not specific to the rally or the gunman, but nonetheless, the Secret Service siloed practice for sharing this threat information is central to developing site security plans for the rally, and they were unaware of the threat, right? So it should have been communicated regardless, and if it would have been communicated, maybe they would have had more resources there and prevented crooks. According to Secret Service officials, this information was not more broadly shared across the Secret Service because in part, the information was highly classified. Maybe it was being conducted by John Brennan, and the intelligence community did not include information at a lower classification level to share. However, the Secret Service's siloed information sharing practices, like requesting that only personnel with an individual's chain of command be briefed on the threat, it also contributed to members of Trump's advance team not receiving any information either. Now, making changes to these policies to the Secret Service should require it to proactively share threat information with everybody. It's always that, our government just has like a real difficult time communicating. Like same thing with 9/11, No, nobody was talking to each other. So I know what we need, the Patriot Act. Further, sharing threat and risk information could also help ensure resource decisions are based on risks, and they don't know how to allocate resources, and that's all it is. Yeah, it's all just let it happen. Should we communicate that? No, we can't. It's classified. All right, well, someone's going to shoot Trump in the head. Well, it's classified, so we can't send that to the Secret Service. You think they should know about it? Well, man, yeah, but I don't want to go to jail for sharing classified documents. It's true, neither do I. All right, well, I guess we'll just keep it in the manila file folder, huh? Yeah, that sounds good. If anybody needs it, we'll know where it is. Says the Secret Service was made aware in July 2024 of a threat from the intelligence community. Senior executives did not request that anybody in the field get that information because they're like, oh, well, maybe he'll get shot in the head. What can we do? Secret Service held a briefing on classified information for Trump's senior division officials, but not for others who were actually responsible for securing the site. So July 3rd, then we got July 8th. And then on the 9th, an official in the Trump Protective Division shared general threat information with the lead advance agent. However, other members of the advance team did not receive the information because a bunch of people wanted him shot in the head. So we've got that. Now we got similarly out with Chuck Grassley. He's also saying he's supporting Pam Bondi still as this inquiry marches forward. Chuck Grassley on the Senate Judiciary Committee says he has not lost confidence in Attorney General Pam Bondi. And I saw Matt Gaetz, a lot of people floated him as a replacement for Pam Bondi, on a clip singing her praises from the rooftop. And Chuck Grassley's got her back too, but he does want more information around the agency's case about Epstein. He says, I wish I knew what she knew, and I'm going to have probably to get some more information, said Grassley, but it's not going to stop Bondi from doing the good work that she and the FBI is doing. Grassley's comments coming after many people unhappy about this saga. I saw Laura Trump on Benny's show saying that more would be coming out. I've got my doubts about that, but we'll see. Many in the president's base unhappy about it, but Johnson says, listen, man, Trump is doing a remarkable job. He got shot in the head and nearly got shot a second time, a couple weeks later, and now he's got one purpose in mind, which is to save America.
Political leader in American history who has endured so many relentless attacks, even attacks upon his life, and remains so strong and resilient. And it's very clear, I mean, on two occasions, two failed assassination attempts, his life miraculously spared on the world stage where everyone can see it. The president called me early this morning and we reflected upon this, about a half-hour conversation. We talked about the moment I was with him right after the second assassination attempt, just 64 days after the Butler, Pennsylvania tragedy, where they caught the gunman with the muzzle pointed out of the bushes on the golf course in Florida. And I sat with him, my wife Kelly and I sat with him for 2 hours and 45 minutes right after that event while they were trying to clear the security perimeter around Mar-a-Lago. And we just talked about this, how clearly God had saved his life, spared his life for a purpose. And he acknowledges that. He talks about it openly now. And he understands the weight of history upon him, the legacy that he will leave and the responsibility that he's been given to help save the country. And it's a very serious thing and a profound thing to be a part of.
Yeah, and hopefully there is accountability for the failures on that day. And Congress has a role to play in that. Chuck Grassley is looking into it and also looking into other files. And so we'll see what comes of it, if anything. But the report is now available. Chuck Grassley saying the Secret Service was more corrupt or more deficient or more incompetent or more whatever adjective you want to use than we even knew. They had open, active threats. They had meetings about it, but they just didn't tell anybody about it because not that important if Trump gets shot in the head. Obviously, we're glad that didn't happen, but we want to make sure that the people responsible for those failures are held accountable and it never happens again.